this video we're going to replace the batteries in this Power Walker UPS. If you're not familiar with a UPS, I have done a video about these. These are incredibly useful. I actually have my computer plugged into this all the time. If there's actually a power cut, your computer will keep on running for, I think it's approximately 30 to 40 minutes. And also the CCTV for the property is also protected by this. That means that if you have a short power cut for 5 or 10 minutes, you won't be interrupted at all because this will take over. Unfortunately, these have sealed batteries in them, and over time they do degrade and eventually they stop working. You do have to be careful when you're working on anything like this because obviously the output on this is 230 volts, so they can be quite dangerous. So you do have to be careful what you're touching. So obviously it needs to be unplugged from the mains, and this is switched off. We're going to lie it on its side because that's where the screws are, at the bottom. And you're going to need a very long screwdriver to get at these screws. That's a normal screwdriver, absolutely no chance. Now, I actually bought these about 10 years ago. They were on special offer and I've probably used them about twice. They're 18 inches long, but for a job like this they're absolutely invaluable. So if I put that in there and just measure that, you're going to need a screwdriver that's at least 100mm or 4 inches to be able to reach the screws. So there's 4 of these to remove. And I have actually already had this open because I needed to order the batteries for it. And the batteries have just arrived today. And there's just a small Phillips screw at the end there that needs removing. So we can now stand that back up. And then we can get hold of the top and we can carefully pull that up. And we do have to pull that part out at the same time. And then we can just turn that over. Obviously you do have to be careful, you don't want to go touching any of the terminals because like I said, this can output 230 volts, so you do just have to be a bit mindful of what you're doing. So we've now got 4 small screws that we need to remove. These are holding this plastic cover on. These of course are wired in series, so that'll give you 24 volts. So we can now remove that plastic cover carefully. We can now start to remove the spade connectors. So we've got the positive there at the top, just slide that off. And then the negative is going to be right down at the bottom, which might be a bit difficult to reach. So there is a metal plate here at the front. I'm just going to slide that out. So obviously we've got a link wire down there, linking the positive from that battery to the negative on that battery. So I'm just going to use a pair of long nose pliers to get that off. And it looks like both batteries are actually glued together. In fact, I can actually pull that up and we can get to that and unplug that. And we can unplug the link wire and we can pull both batteries out. And as you can see, when they get like that, this type of battery, they are actually no good when the case is distorted, so they'll be taken and they will be recycled. So all we need to do is get the number off the side of the battery and search for that, and we can get the exact same battery. I actually managed to find 2 of these on eBay. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for these, but I will put it on the screen. So these are a direct replacement, and as you can see it says on them UPS high rate. Normally I would glue those back together with some double-sided tape, but unfortunately I don't actually have any here. It's in Southport on another job. So I'm just going to wrap those together using a piece of insulation tape. So we can now remove the protective caps. First job is to put the link wire on. And then put that back in there. We're going to connect up the negative first. And then we can tilt the battery so that it's in its rightful position. And then we can put that metal plate back in. And then finally we can connect up the positive. So we now just need to put this plastic cover back on. We just need to put the screws in there. And then we just need to put the case back together, which is quite easy. Just need to watch this part at the back and ensure we get that in proper. You do need to ensure that you don't chop any wires when you're doing this. And then we simply need to tilt that over and replace all the screws at the bottom. So that's it, a nice easy job. All we need to do with this now is go and plug it back in, and we'll have a fully working UPS again.